Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. When I was serving my church in Myrtle Beach, I frequently needed to travel down Highway 17 to the Medical University in Charleston to visit members who were there for treatment. If you've ever ridden that stretch of road, there's one thing you may have noticed. It's a pretty boring journey. The road is flat, and a good bit of it is in a national forest, so there's nothing to see but pine trees and more pine trees. So one's mind tends to wander, and one also takes notice of those rare times when there is something to see. Once, when I was heading to Charleston, I came upon an African Methodist Episcopal church beside the road. I had passed it many times before without really paying attention. However, somehow this time I saw their sign and caught the name of the church. Mount Nebo AME Church, the sign said. Well, there are many mountains mentioned in the Bible, and even many which are part of the gospel stories of Jesus. There's Mount Tabor, where the Transfiguration happened. There's the Mount of Olives, where many events in the life of Jesus happened, and on it goes. So I asked myself, why would anyone name a church after Mount Nebo of all places? My mind continued its rambling as I made my way down the road. I mean, Mount Nebo is not even in Israel. It's over across the Jordan, and it's the mountain Moses climbed so that he could see the promised land before he died. And suddenly I knew. And suddenly I thought Mount Nebo was a great name for a church. That name says that from this place one can glimpse the promised land. That's a powerful message to an African American congregation. I think it's a powerful message to any of us. Now, I'm telling you about Mount Nebo AME because as we draw nearer to Christmas and have been waiting for me to finish up all this talk about Bible verses and Bible stories about waiting, today we want to talk about Simeon and Anna. Many of us may not know much about Simeon and Anna, but before we get to that, we need to know that when babies were born in Israel, there were rules that new parents were supposed to follow. At 8 days, they were supposed to take the baby to the temple for circumcision. What that meant was that all male babies in Israel came at that age to Jerusalem and to the temple. Now, Simeon was a very old man who had lived his life faithfully, and God had revealed to him that he would see the Messiah before he died. Therefore, Simeon went to the temple every day, waiting and staring intently at every baby they brought in, looking to see the Messiah at long last. And when they brought Jesus in, Simeon knew immediately, and he burst into a song of praise to God. Lord, now let your servant depart in peace according to your word, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the presence of all peoples, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, and for glory to your people Israel. His waiting was fulfilled. Also in the temple was a woman named Anna, who was a prophetess. She had been married, but her husband had died young, and ever since then Anna was at the temple. And when she saw Jesus, she began telling everyone about him. Like Simeon, she was waiting, and like Simeon, she saw God's plan to redeem Israel. In Isaiah 26, verse 8, we read, "In the path of your judgments, O Lord, we wait for you. Your name and your renown are the soul's desire." That was the desire of Simeon and Anna, to wait for God and to proclaim God's praise and renown to all the world. That was what they lived for. this close to Christmas. May that be what we live for too. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.